I'm with Scott Whitla, who's just presented a really interesting paper on the whole issue of equitable remedies for disappointed beneficiaries in estate litigation. Scott raised a number of important issues during the course of this presentation, but one of the most interesting ones was the issue of proportionality. Scott, can you tell us a little bit about why this is so important in relation to equitable estoppel claims?
Yes, Robert. So what we're seeing is that there's a slight shift in the way the courts are starting to interpret the remedy that should be made if an estoppel claim is made out. And we're seeing some commentary in a couple of cases, so Stone v. Kramer and Moore and Nabusan, where we've got the court saying, look, we think that perhaps if we make good on the promise, so we fulfil the equity, that perhaps that's actually excessive. And so we've got the court starting to say, well, is that in fact in all proportion to the work that was done by the promisee, or is it in fact really just an excessive outcome? And so you've got the courts saying in those cases that if the remedy is so generous that they would actually look to cut it back, whereas historically, at least in the last 20 years since Giamelli, we've had a situation where the courts have been saying we will just make good on the promise so long as you can make out the core elements of promise, reliance, detriment and unconscionability. And now we're starting to see this element of proportionality creep in, and it's going to be an interesting watch this space.
Scott, thank you very much. Very interesting observation.